Hi everyone, this is Mahiuddin Ahmed from Singapore Maths Academy. Welcome to our 11 plus mini series. Today we're going to look at factors and multiples. So let's jump onto the iPad and get started. So we're going to start off with factors of 6 and understand what that means. So factors are a really important part of maths. We look at factors in various other topics. So it's important that we understand factors from an early age. So here we've got 6 dots here, right? And it's put in an order in a certain way. So we can see a row of 6. So we can think of this as 1 times 6. And the reason we think of it this way is because factors are numbers that can be divisible, divided into 6. So what numbers can divide into 6 without leaving any remainders? What numbers go into 6 exactly? And that we know 1 goes into 6 and 6 goes into 6. They're the easiest ones to kind of work out, right? So we can say factors of 6 are 1 and 6. But are there any other numbers that go into 6? So we can think of 6 and we can draw out a 3 by 2. 1, 2, 3 by 2, right? So 2 lots of 3s. We can see here that actually this is 2 times 3, for example, right? That's also equal to 6. And so we know, therefore, that 2 and 3 are factors of 6 because you can divide 6 by 2 and 3 and not leave any remainders, right? It would be exact. And so what we can say is factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3, and 6. Now, when working with factors, it's really important that we're very efficient and we work systematically. And the way that we work systematically with factors is by thinking about pairs, factor pairs. So here, the first part of our video, we looked at 1 times 6. So 1 and 6 are the pairs because 1 times 6 equals 6 and 2 times 3 equals 6. If we work in pairs, rather than just trying to work out what goes into 6, what I can divide 6 by, then it's going to be likely, if it's a larger number, you're going to forget one number. We're not working systematically enough. So it's better to work in pairs for factors, and it's much more efficient with your time, as well as you don't make those mistakes by forgetting any of the numbers. So let's look at a larger number then. Let's look at 32. How would I work out the factors of 32? What would I need to do? What would you do? How would you start this off? Well, we know 32 is equal to 1 times 32. If we think about the times table for the numbers, that would be an easier and more efficient way to work out the factors. So 1 times 32 is 32. So therefore, 1 and 32 are the factors of 32 because I can divide 32 by 1, I can divide 32 by 32, and I'll have a whole number answer, right? It would be a full answer without any remainders. And so what other numbers can I multiply to get 32? Now, I can be random if I wanted to be, but I want to be efficient with my time. So I know I started off with 1. I can see it's an even number, so I know I can do 2 times a number, 2 times 16, that will give me 32. So therefore 2 and 16 are factors of 32. What about 3? I know 3 times 10 is 30, so it'll be 30, then 33. So 3 is not going to be a factor. 32 is equal to 4 times something. Well, I've just got 2 times something, so 2 times 2 is 4, so I've doubled that. So I'll halve my 16, so it becomes 8. 4 times 8 is 32 as well. And so 4 and 8 are also factors of 32. 5 is not going to be a factor of 32. How do I know that? Because 5 times table, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Is there a pattern there? It always ends with a 5 or a multiple of 10 or 0, right? And so 32 doesn't have a 5 or 0 for the ones, so therefore it's not going to be 5 times table. 6 times table, 6 times 5 is 30, so 6 times 6 for 36, so it won't be 6. 7, nope. 8 we've got already. 9, nope. 10, no. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 we've got. 16 is exactly half of 32. and therefore we won't have any other ones after 16 apart from 1 and 1 times 32, which is going to be 32. So therefore the factors of 32 are 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, and 32. These are the factors of 32. So what's really important here, again, is I've worked in pairs and I've tried to work systematically so I don't forget any number in between these values. We're going to move on to common factors next. So if you've understood factors, great. Have a go at some questions that your parents might give you now, and then come back to us for our next part of our video, which is common factors. What are common factors? Common factors are when we have two numbers and we work out the factor that they both have in common. What does that mean? Both have in common that they both have that same. Okay, so let's have a look at two questions so that we understand what I mean by that. So let's look at the common factors of 8 and say 12. 8 and 12. So we're going to work out the common factors of 8 and 12. So how am I going to do that? What could I do? Can I just jump into both of them straight away? No, I'm going to do one at a time, right? So what are the factors of 12 and 18 separately? Let's start with 12. Factors of, let's start with 8. Factors of 8. I know 1 times 8 is 8. 2 times 4 is 8. I can't do 3. I've done 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've got 1 times 8 and 2 times 4. Therefore, the factors of 8 are 1, 2, 4, and 8. What are the factors of 12? Factors of 12, what are they going to be? 1 times 12 is 12. 2 times 6 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12. And 5, 6 we've got, and then we've got all the others. So these are the factors of 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. So looking at the factors of 12 and the factors of 8, to work out the common factors of 8 and 12, they're going to be the numbers that are factors in both of those sets. What numbers can you see are in both of those sets? I can see 1, I can see 2, I can see 4 are in both of those sets of factors. And so factors of 8 and 12, or common factors of 8 to 12, are going to be 1, 2, and 4. These are the common factors of 8 and 12. Let's have a go at another question, just so that we're more confident at what we're doing when it comes to common factors. So let's look at factors of 9 and 36. What are the common factors of 9 and 36? So what we're going to do first, we're looking at factors of 9 first. Let's look at that. Factors of 9 are going to be 1 times 9 is 9. 2 times, nope, can't do that. 3 times 3 is 9. And that's it, right? So therefore, the factors of 9 are actually just 1, 3, and 9. We don't have to write 3 twice because it doesn't make a difference, right? It's still going to be just 1, 3 as the factor. So 1, 3, and 9 are the factors of 9. Factors of 36 are going to be, let's see, 1 times 36, 2 times 18, 3 times 10 is 30, so 33, 36. 3 times 12 is going to be 36. What else is there? Is there 4? Oh, there's quite a few here, right? 4 times 10 is 40, so 4 times 9 must be 36. 5 is not a factor. 6 I have not got yet. 6 times 6 is 36. 7 is not a factor. 8 is going to be, is it a factor? 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. No, it's not. And that's all, right? 9, no, 10, 9, sorry, I've got 10 is not going to be. 11, no. 12, I've got 13, 14, 15, 16, I've got, sorry, 16 I haven't got, 17, 18 that I've got. And anything beyond 18 will be only 36 because 18 is halfway point of 36. So you can't add anything more than 36 to get, or twice or more to get 36. So therefore, we've got all of them here. So what are the factors of 36? We've got quite a few here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Then we've got 9, 12, 18, and 36. So these are all the factors of 36. So what are we looking for now? We're looking for the common factors of 9 and 36. What are the common factors of 9 and 36? What does that mean again? That means the numbers that are in both of these lists. The factors of 9, got 1 and 1 for both of them. Factors of 9 again is 3. We can see a 3 here. And we can also see a 9 here. So all of the factors of 9 are also factors of 36. So therefore we can say that factors of 9 and 36 are 1, 3, and 9. Does that make sense, class? So have a go at doing that yourself with other common factors. The final part of this video is looking at multiples. What are multiples? Multiples are probably the more simpler part of this video. So hopefully you'll understand this quite quickly. Multiples are the numbers that appear in a numbers times table, multiplication times table, right? So what are the multiples of, let's say, 5? That's going to be easy for us, right? Multiples of 5 are going to be the numbers that are going to be in 5 times table. So let's write down the first 5 multiples of 5. That'll be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. These are the first 5 multiples of 5. And so sometimes questions might ask the first 10, first 5, first 3 multiples of a number. And this is how we would work out the multiples of this number. And so multiples are quite simple because we can easily think about a times table. And by this stage, we should know quite a few times table, right? Like our 1 times table, 2 times table, 5 times table, 10 times table should be really confident with. And a few others as well, like the 3 times table, 4 times table, and 8 times table should be something that you are getting used to. And the others will follow on by the time you're in your end of year 4 or beginning of year 5. You should know most of your times table quite efficiently, and that will be very effective for your 11 plus as well. So how do I know a number is a multiple? That's another question that we can sometimes get asked. How do you know, is 3 a multiple of 12? Does that make sense? Is 3 a multiple of 12? Sometimes we get confused with multiples and factors. 3 is not a multiple of 12 because 3 doesn't appear in the 12 times table, right? But if I swap this around, is 12 a multiple of 3? Is 12 a multiple of 3? So does 12 appear in the 3 times table? Well, we know it does, right? 3, 6, 9, 12, for example. We can also check by doing 12 divided by 3. If that gives us a whole number, like 4 in this case, then we know a number is in times table, and therefore it's going to be a multiple of that number. Okay, so in this case, is 12 a multiple of 3? Yes, it is. 12 is a multiple of 3. It's not a factor of 3, is it? Is 12 a factor of 3? No, because 12 is much bigger than 3, right? Factors are, the largest factor is going to be the number itself and anything below that. So we have to be careful with knowing what a multiple is. Multiple is numbers that appear in the times table. Factors are numbers that can divide into the number without leaving any remainders, right? So we've got to be careful making sure we know which one's which. One other aspect of this video we're going to just finish up on is common multiples. Common multiples, similarly to common factors, in that we look for common numbers, right, in the multiplication times table. So common multiples of, let's say, 8 and 6, for example, we look at 8 times table and 6 times table. What do we know about 8 times table? 8, 16, 24, and it goes on, right? And 6 times table is 6, 12, 18, 24. And so we can see that the first number that is common in both their times table is going to be 24. So what we can say is one number, one of the common multiples, or the lowest common multiple, the first common multiple of 6 and 8 is 24. There are other multiples that they have in common, but the first one is going to be 24. And so we call that the lowest common multiple. The lowest common multiple of 6 and 8 is 24. So in this example, we looked at 8 and 6. We can have a go at another example. Let's say, for example, 3 and 9. What are the common multiples of 3 and 9? Let's look at the 3 times table. 3 times 1 is 3, then 6, then 9, and it goes on, right? But we can see 9 is also going to be in the 9 times table. 9, 18, 27, and so forth. And so the first number that appears in both the 3 times table and the 9 times table is 9. So we can say the lowest common multiple, lowest common multiple of 3 and 9 is 9. And so that's common multiples. We have to look at the times table of both the numbers and look out for the numbers that are in both times table. The first number that's in both times table is called the lowest common multiple. Knowing how to work out the lowest common multiple will help us with other topics like fractions, how to add and subtract fractions, for example, and finding equivalent fractions. So we're going to stop there for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask below. Please do like our video and give us any feedback that would support us and making future videos even better.